the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And wow, that's wow. We got an extraordinary show coming your way. As you all already know, that I'm a veteran, and I support this event almost every year. And we got some great panel folks and this other folks from all over that's going to help delight this year's make it even better. So I am excited about this. And Sheila, wow, this is going to be a great show.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Before the show went live, had an interesting conversation with our guests today, and they're going to be a part of this amazing event in October in California, in Southern California. And we're just excited. They have their own specialty and what they do, but they're going to join this amazing event. Some are returning, and one is new to the event, and we will talk to all of them in less than a minute.
Yeah, I'm excited because that forces us to go home because we live in California as well as Texas. We live in Temecula. So that requires us. I would be the MC for this event, and I am looking forward to this. I tell you what, whichever platform that you're watching us on, was it E36 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and over 80 other live platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do, in whichever platform that you're watching us on, go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Michelle, I can't wait to get started with this. So can you please do the honors by introducing the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce these absolutely magnificent folks?
Most definitely. So the title of today's show is the 14th Annual Veteran in Small Business Trade Show. And we are celebrating that. It's happening in October. And we're having a conversation with Lisa Garcia. She is the founder of Lisa L. Garcia Consulting. Sheila Higgins, documentary filmmaker and storyteller. Sheila Andreen, she's an award-winning filmmaker, CEO, and the founder of Impactful Networks and Impactful Fund. David Killion, a United States Marine Corps veteran and co-owner of California Crime Abatement Team, Inc. Welcome to our show, and thank you for taking the time to join us.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Cooley right now.
Hey, welcome to the show. And just like I said, this is going to be great. It's so many things that we're going to talk about in this show today. But real quickly, I'm going to start out by asking each one of you to tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about you, what makes you click, why you're so passionate about what you do. We'll start off with you, Lisa.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Garcia. I'm so excited to be here. And I really feel like my story is a story of reinvention. I've reinvented myself many times as a single mom and now a business owner. I've had my business for a few years now, but I am reinventing my business. I'm completely changing from what I used to do to something completely new. And I'm also bringing my family into my business. My daughter is also a reinvention story. She's a mom of a 6-year-old, and she went back to school and got her degree, and now she's working with me in our business, and I'm so excited about it. And just want to encourage everybody. Reinvention is kind of the theme for all of us, I think.
Wow, this is great. You have to reinvent, regardless of the situation. Renewing of the mind sometimes had to take place. So I want to go to you, David.
Yes. Hey, thank you for having me on. It's a very big honor. My story is a story of transitions, kind of along the lines of what Lisa was saying, kind of reinventing myself. I served in the Marine Corps, and I got out, and I really didn't even know what to do with my life, where I was going, where I was headed. But I knew that I always had a passion to help people and to protect others. It's one of the main motivations I joined the Marine Corps, to help protect this nation. And so I just kind of wanted to stay with that. And I eventually wound up getting into the security industry. And through many sleepless nights and hard work, I eventually, kind of worked my way up the ranks. A good friend reached out to me and was like, hey, you want to come join my company? I'm just starting out again, and I wanted to see if you wanted to partner with me. So you know what? We're just going to take this leap of faith. But this is what I'm being called to do in this moment. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And it's been going well. We're making some great strides and successes.
That's how life is once we, step forward and change course, because a lot of us just want to stay on the same path that we're on. And we know when that path is about to end, we need to jump off and go with our gut. So Sheila Higgins.
First of all, thank you to you and Michelle for hosting this. This is very, very special. And I'm just so appreciative to be part of the trade show again this year. I was part of it last year. And as a result, I got to meet Lisa, apparently. I met so many people that day, and Sheila and I met on our name at first and then had a little conversation. And out of that conversation, Al was listening to us. Actually, our panel that we'll all be on came from last year. So that was very, very special to be in that energy. And I'll say a little bit about myself, but one thing I do want to make sure today to let the public know is this is open to the public. You don't have to just be a veteran to be part of this event. And I really encourage the Moreno Valley in particular and the surrounding area to come on down, even if you just poke your head in the door. These are veterans, yes, but these are business owners. And these are people out there trying to connect with the community to work together and offer their services. So the doors are wide open to everyone to attend. how I kind of fell into meeting Al was through some of the documentary work that I've done specifically around my partners, Beth Dolan and Luis Remisar, who I believe are watching. Hello, my dear friends. The three of us have known each other for decades and work on projects that we hope are empowering the human experience in our lifetime. So working together, we've done a documentary called Stranger at Home, which Al got wind of, and we connected through that project. Stranger at Home was based on healing the psychological wounds of war. And working on that documentary for 13 years, we started out looking at one particular area of that, and the whole thing just opened up to us in a way we didn't anticipate. So like you said, David, we followed the path. It's what opened up to us. And like you said, Lisa, we had to reinvent ourselves quite a few times along on that journey. So our experience in doing Stranger at Home and working with so many veterans and nonprofits and other entities across the nation, what we kind of noticed was this rather big disconnect from when veterans' separation of service and their re-entry into civilian life, there didn't seem to be a connecting bridge. So that drove us to do our next documentary short called Welcome Home, veteran reintegration that involves all of us, U.S. So that's kind of what is pertinent to today's conversation. I've done a lot in various media and entertainment and news, but the documentaries are where my life has been at for the last at least 15 years with my partners, Luis Remisar, and the director of Stranger at Home, Beth Dolan. So again, it's an honor to be here, and I look forward to seeing you MC at the event and to our panel.
I'm looking forward to it. We're going to take a station break, but Sheila, I ain't forgot about you. As soon as we come back from the station break.
I'm still working on my lighting.
So I tell you, whichever platform that you're watching this on, again, if you want to be part of this great conversation that we are going to have, all you have to do is just go to the platforms, go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you in there. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I tell you, just the introduction, you all already know. First segment is all about intro and getting a chance to know the guests and, having the guests to ease down because it's just a conversation. It's just a conversation. So I know Sheila thought I had forgot about it, but hey, Sheila, you up? Can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about you? What makes you care? Why you're so passionate about what you do?
I'm a living, breathing example of really go do whatever you are passionate about, and you can do it. I don't check any of the prerequisite boxes. Who knew? Of course, I never knew that growing up, but I took I've created a film and evidence-based mental health literacy program. I cut my teeth in Hollywood as a costume designer on hit TV shows like The Wonder Years, Party of Five, Dawson's Creek. I got nominated for an Emmy, and I cannot sew. I cannot sketch. I didn't learn anything about costume design. I actually thought actors showed up in their own clothes. Like, I didn't know anything, but I learned on the fly and found my way into social impact films. I started producing and directing in the narrative space in the studios, and then I moved over into social impact documentary filmmaking. And then I got into really focusing on films about mental health education through people's stories. So I always say that my films and my programs are made by the people, for the people. I'm just the mechanic. I had the great privilege of meeting Sheila, Higgins, and Lisa at the last year's event in Moreno Valley. And I'm looking forward to it again on October 16th next month too. Al, who runs the whole show, is beyond amazing. So, and I'm looking forward to meeting you, Dr. James Cooley. So I kind of, I've been catapulted into worlds I never thought I would be in as a school dropout. I work deeply in the healthcare industry, the education industry, and through various people, I'm starting to learn more about sort of the government sector, specifically the military, through story, brain science, and now AI. So I'm here. My life's purpose is to let people know they matter and belong.
Each one of you guys' intro is remarkable. What we're going to do now, I'm just going to ask questions. I'm just going to go through because it's a conversation. That's how I want it to be. Not an interview, just a conversation. So we're going to start off with you, Lisa. Let's discuss inside secrets to using AI, like pro and discover treatments. All about AI is what they got down here for you. So let's talk about that. I need to learn about AI. Michelle knows a lot, but I know nothing. So
okay.
Educate me in 2 to 3 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, as I mentioned in my intro, this year is about reinvention for me. I'm completely shifting my business focus. Previously, and for my entire career, I worked with nonprofits. I was a nonprofit director, fundraiser, grant writer, administrator. And this year, I got so intrigued by AI and what people are doing with it and all the potential with it that I said, you know what? I want to learn this business. I want to get, all the information I can get. And I realized what an opportunity it is. And so what my daughter and I have been doing is learning how to create custom AI images for people, which are basically like photo shoots without the photo shoot. So you can create images of, yourself in Egypt or yourself in, on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean without actually having to do it, which I think is amazing. And that's one of the first services we're going to offer. But I think AI, really ultimately, we have a huge opportunity right now to use AI. And even just Chat GPT can be used, as a business strategist. It can be used to schedule your day, your week, schedule your meals, put out, workout plans. You can use it for so much. It's not just a simple, some people are using it just like a Google kind of a tool, but it really can be used and you can train it. I think what I've learned is really, really fascinating to me is the more that you use it and you train it, it learns about you and it learns, how to work with you, almost like an assistant, which I think is just fascinating, super fascinating. But I also think those of us who really embrace AI and humanize it are going to be the ones that are the most successful with AI. We'll never have our, jobs taken away from us or our businesses, taken away from us. I think it's a trend that we need to embrace right now, and it'll give us back time. It'll give us so much opportunities. I think it's really like a huge wave that we have, a huge opportunity, especially 2025, 2026. I would just encourage people, don't be afraid to learn things. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to play around with the free tools, like chat. It's free initially. Don't be afraid, like embrace the, or ask people. Like I happen to have, younger people who are, my daughter who's 26, she's grown up with technology. So she's been really encouraging me, like, Mom, don't be afraid. Like she encouraged me to get a MacBook for the first time. I always, all my kids have MacBooks, iPhones. I was a PC, Android. I still have an Android phone though. I don't have an iPhone yet, but I'm about this close to getting one. But this MacBook that I'm on right here, this thing is pretty amazing. I still don't understand it fully, but this thing is pretty amazing. It has huge capabilities that I'm still learning about. But to me, that was a huge leap. So, I would just encourage everyone, take that leap. Don't be afraid. Do things that maybe scare you a little bit. It's such a huge opportunity right now. Just to be a few steps ahead is all you need to do. You don't have to master. You don't have to, be an expert. And this is another thing I was thinking about. It's so accessible. This kind of levels the playing field. Like Sheila said, things, she learned on the job, things that maybe were only accessible to, data engineers or, coders or, things like that are becoming accessible to somebody who's willing to just put in a little bit of effort, which, I don't mean to denigrate anybody who spent time or money getting those degrees, but I think this is going to really level the playing field and it's going to change education. Like my 10th grader, I'm telling him, like, when you graduate in 2.5 years, it's going to be completely different than it is today. Education is going to be completely different.
We have to encourage them to, and that change will, it's, and Sheila Higgins getting ready to talk about that a little bit anyway, but I have to put them in the directions of, change and understanding. If you understand, I believe, if you understand AI, you continue to do that, you will not have to worry about a job. But if you don't educate yourself, I believe that there's going to be a lot of people out of work. So Sheila Higgins, what are your thoughts on that?
On which part?
We're talking about AI, and the question is, what is humanity's relationship with AI as it continues to become part of nearly all aspects of our lives?
Well, I will start by saying Sheila knows very well that I'm going to be the one who's a little more cautious about AI. That's how our conversation kind of started last year and how this particular event, our panel, came about. I'm obviously for the growth of technology. I think doing it without a collective conversation in our nation, at the very least, about it scares me, quite frankly, a little bit. It will, James, change our lives moving forward. And Lisa, yes, education. It will take many, many, many jobs away. And quite frankly, that is not necessarily a bad thing. for me, what I'm sensing with AI, and I've done a tremendous amount of research on it, as my director and co-producers will tell you, that's sort of my thing. I like to do a lot of research about something. And Lisa, you said it, it's keeping the humanness in this growth. And for me right now, I feel like the technology is just going really fast forward without our human interaction with it, without having a conversation in this country about it. And taking away all those jobs and what it will automate for us. We are at the precipice of a huge human paradigm shift. What would it look like if we were only working 3 days a week? How would we afford things moving forward? Would we get paid the same for doing 5 days of work? What if money was distributed and thought about differently as a result of this? We have the absolute means, and now with this automated systems moving forward, to eradicate poverty, to eradicate all of the issues that we are dealing with in this world. So I'm with you, Lisa, on the fact that we don't want to lose the humanity in the process. In fact, it should be, to me, the number one component guiding AI and not AI guiding us. The way AI is trained is it's given points for giving the right answer, and it's given less points for doing the wrong answer, and it's given no points for giving no answer. So AI at times will make up answers that are absolutely incorrect because it gets rewarded for creating an answer of any kind. The AI developers are realizing now a lot of the issues that are in play, and they are working to try to correct these things. So as we move forward with the advancements of AI, especially with our young people, this past week in Congress, we had, unfortunately, multiple parents there talking about the deaths of their children, that ChatGPT in particular encouraged them to do. It didn't tell them, go talk to your parents, go get mental health. It told them how to do it. So we have some real guardrails that we need to put in place, and Europe is far ahead of us in that regard. So I'm all about advancing. And in fact, one of the things maybe I won't say that in case you bring it up in a thing, but we have opportunities to restructure, say, the VA. That people from the inside and the outside are all saying it's a broken system. We all know it's a broken system. If AI can automate it in a way, and actually the VA and veterans work together to create the new system moving forward, acknowledging what's needed for the human beings in that process, and letting AI automate the system to the point where it's working more fluidly, more effectively, and can move and change with the course of time more quickly. So that's how this conversation came about with Sheila from last year's event, and Al listening to us saying, you guys need to do a panel next year. I'm just all about keeping, like Lisa, you said beautifully, keeping the humanness guiding the AI and not always letting AI guide us solely.
And that's what we have to do. And Big Al, I see that he's watching, but he ain't asked any questions. So what's up, Big Al? But we're going to take a station break. We're going to come back. We're going to continue this conversation with Sheila and David. So I'll tell you what, if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. Promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm getting the comments. I don't understand why people are not able to text. You should be able to do it on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube for sure. Yeah, so I'm not sure why they're not coming in. But getting back to this conversation, this was so extraordinary. And wow, we got a whole lot to cover. Yeah, so I want to start off with you, David. You was in the Marine Corps. How long did you spend in the Marine Corps? And
I just did my one term.
Just did one term. What are some of the important values that you learn, that you take with you every day, and that you invest in yourself and continue to invest in others, that they can do anything that they set their mind to?
It's a deep question. I would say one of the a saying that I heard in the Marine Corps, to whoever said it first, credit I give, but is the man that says he can and the man that says he can't are both usually right. It's really kind of about that mindset of how you go into something. And when you're thinking about doing something, just going for it. I mean, it sounds like most of us, if not all of us in this conversation, even they had an idea, a dream, a goal, and then they just went for it. And that's how things get done. That's how you start accomplishing those goals and dreams. If you always wait for that perfect time, you're never going to get there. Because the situation, the scenario is never just perfect for everything. It's just not. So sometimes you just have to go for it. Just follow God's, leading, and just push for that, for your dreams, for your goals. I'd say maybe one of the most important, kind of things that I took away from the Marine Corps is flexibility. Understanding that everything is going to work the first time you try it or the first time you do it. And that's okay. Adjust fire, adjust your positioning, figure out, okay, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Let's modify, change, and adapt, and keep your eye on that goal.
That's what it's all about, is keeping your eye on the goal. And if you tell yourself, just like in my speeches, I speak a lot around the world. If you tell yourself that you cannot do this or you cannot do that, you can't do it. Because you don't believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And that's why what we're doing in this event, the 14th event, is so important. So Sheila, I want to hear about your Hollywood career. Just tell me a little bit about you. What keep you going? How you got started? I'm excited. You're on mute. You're on mute.
I think. Yeah. Okay. So you want to know about my Hollywood world?
Yes.
Okay, that was a lot. Let me go way, way back in the archives. I dropped out of school because I needed to make money. I was working a lot of jobs, and I fell in love with a director, much older than me, who was working in commercials, and he said, "Do you want to help me out?" And because he knew I liked to thrift store shop and I was very frugal, and but I had an eye for putting together outfits and whatever. And so I ended up helping him out, and I made $800 a day, and I was fed well. And I thought, this is so good. I'm going to leave school and do this for a bit and save my money. I ended up traveling around the country with him doing commercials, and then I ended up breaking up with him and ended up in Hollywood visiting my mom, who had moved there from Seattle, and just started getting involved in small independent movies and ended up getting into TV shows. I think something you said, David, which is, like things are going to change. You got to adapt, got to keep evolving. And so, I grew up with everyone telling me that's not how it's done. You're never going to be able to do that. You have to have such and such and such and such to do this. And so I always felt a little broken, a little less than, not a part of. So I felt like, well, maybe those rules won't apply to me because that's just for all the normal people. So I guess I have my own set of rules. God knows where the rule book is, but I'll just figure it out breath by breath. And I had anxiety, still do. Wasn't sure, but survival mode kicks in and you got to figure out a way to keep going. I ended up getting a job on the Wonder Years because I had seen it after the football, the pilot only after the Super Bowl. And something like an arrow shot inside me, like my DNA changed. And I thought, I want to work on that show. And I went there. I found out where the studio was and I went, their office was, and I went every day and I said, are you hiring? No. Are you hiring? No. We're a union show, blah, blah, blah. And I'd keep showing up and they'd say, they got to know me a little bit. I'd say, I was in the neighborhood. I just thought I'd pop in and see if anything changed. And I'd always get sort of pushed out the door very quickly. But I think on the fourth time, the costume designer was in the main lobby and she said, I could use a hanger sorter, just someone to sort the hangers and clean up the clothes. And I said, got it. So I started doing that. And as a result, I learned every article of clothing in the entire show. And so when it came to her having to do fittings, I was sort of in the background, minding my own business, sweeping, emptying trash, doing things like that, keeping our area clean. And the actress was asking for something and she'd say, oh, and I don't know. And I said, actually, I have an idea. She was okay, I'll go grab it. So I'd grab some stuff. I knew the sizing of it all because I'd sized it and it worked. And so she said, all right, you're going to help me do this from now on. And then she got fired like 2 episodes later. And they said, we're going to bring in someone else and we need you to train them because you know everything now. So I trained the next woman and she goes, why aren't you doing it? And I said, because I don't have the training, the degree. I don't know anything. I'm here to learn. And she said, and she didn't really like being on the show. So she actually quit and they said, okay, we're going to find someone else and then you're going to train them. And I said, it was the scariest thing I'd ever done. I said, why don't you let me give it a shot? And they said, well, you weren't alive in the 60s. I said, actually, I was a baby. But I'm like, well, you're not going to be able to do it. And I said, who did 2001 Space Odyssey? Like, who lived during the times of period films? So they begrudgingly let me, and they said, we'll give you an episode, but we just want you to know we're still looking. And so I did that episode and they liked it. It all worked. And I think they forgot or something. I just ended up doing the rest of the show and I got nominated for that episode. And my producer called me and I was at some costume house on a ladder and he said, congratulations on your Emmy. And I'm like, what's an Emmy? Like, I didn't know anything. I just kind of figured out my way. I created what's called a cross plot for me to, in my head, track outfits, interior, exterior, all of that, which has now become a staple in the industry. I should have patented it or trademarked it. And I went on to work on some amazing shows, won awards, got to be at the Golden Globes and the Emmys, and not in the most glamorous sense, but
that's an amazing story because I, quiet as kept, I was in Hollywood a little bit. Didn't work out for me. And I knew it was not going to work out. So I moved along.
You had a bigger calling.
I moved along. I listened to God. And everything I do is God's. I have his permission. You know what? We're going to take a station break, but when we get back, we're going to talk about the 14th annual event, and we're going to find out what each one of you guys going to do to contribute to that. I know that all of you are on the panel, but we're going to talk about that and give the audience a little bit more understanding of what this is. So I'll tell you, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is go to the comments, ask questions. I hope you're able to text and do that. But it's a lot of different platforms, so you can go to either one of those: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all that. It's live on all of those right now. So it's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Dr. J.C. Cooley. It's the J. Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. J.
We have arrived at Prison House, and I'll tell you what, it's beautiful out here. The water is so clear. The beach. I am excited. I will keep you informed. This is wonderful. Zanzibar.
Yeah,
Get over here, Randy.
I see why people say you haven't traveled until you've been to Zanzibar. I get it, man. I totally understand. We're about to have some fun.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, hold on, what's happening here? I tell you, it's this conversation is so wonderful that we might have to do this again because we're not gonna have enough time to go over everything that I envision being able to do. And so I don't know. I might have to talk to Big Al, and we might have to do this again if you guys are willing. You guys might not be willing to do it. But this is so extraordinary. I just got back from Africa, my kingdom over there. And one of the things that you said earlier, Lisa, you got to follow what God says. And what he leads you into, because it's good things. God knows the plans for you. He does, for each one of us. He put us in contact because he knew that this was going to happen. And this event that is coming up, I think it's going to be extraordinary. I love attending Al's event. I normally do a live show from his event. I don't know if he told you guys that or not. But we normally do a live show, television, radio, everything. Plan on doing that again this time. But where I'm going with this is we follow God's plan. We start off with you, David. 1 minute or less. What is your expectation? What are you bringing to this event? For us, education, audience, and all that. That question is going to be for all of y'all, but it got to be 1 minute or less. Let's start with you, Dave. I think you muted.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, can now.
All right. Perfect. So 1 minute or less. So I will be bringing, in terms of education, I'll be bringing years of experience in the security industry, physical security predominantly, but also camera management, executive protection, corporate security, a lot of things like that, general public safety, as well as veteran resources. So I also work a lot with veterans. I attempt to help veterans in that transition. My company prefers to hire veterans when possible. And then I also work to help connect them with other resources, programs, and organizations that I personally vet myself and can attest to their quality.
That's a good answer. Lisa, you up? Come on.
Let me unmute myself. Yeah, well, what I bring is encouragement, first of all. As I mentioned, reinvention. I think that's a huge theme for me. And I feel like, God has given me this opportunity to reinvent myself. And I really want everybody else to know, you can do that. You can reinvent yourself. And I really believe that technology combined with our own inner wisdom can give us the strength that we need to reinvent ourselves. And also, I believe everybody should have their own personal brand, whether you have a job, whether you have a business, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're, retired. Everybody should have their own personal brand. And that in that way, you will always have opportunities. When you have your own personal brand, you are known for who you are, what you stand for. And that's part of my mission, is to help people create their own personal brand. I've been doing it for myself, and now I'm helping other people do that too. And I believe that's like, creating your own personal power statement is your brand, who you are, what you stand for. And that's magic.
Wow. I'm looking forward to this. Sheila, Higgins. Yeah.
I'm bringing curiosity.
I love that.
That's sort of what I do as a documentary person or a storyteller. I'm curious, and I'm so psyched. James and Michelle, I know Michelle's in the background there. I just want you to hear this too. I'm so psyched you brought us together beforehand, because I'm not sure we would have had the opportunity, the four of us, to be able to have this chat before we went on stage then. I'm so excited for this, because a year ago when Sheila and I started this discussion that brought this about, AI was a little more in its infancy stage. And I can't believe, like, a year later, I'm saying it has grown exponentially, but a year later, it has grown exponentially into all of our lives, our modern day lives, whether we are aware of it or not, how much it's in our lives. So I'm really excited, like you just said, Lisa, it's a time of absolute reinvention. And it's a time, like David is saying, he's helping veterans, the possibilities of helping one another and connecting with one another. I agree, Lisa. I think the need for being authentic in oneself is really important right now. So again, I'm just bringing real curiosity. I can't wait to pick these people's brains. I'm more kind of wanting to just throw out conversations to this panel and hear what they have to say.
So curiosity, that is absolutely,
yeah.
I love it. What about you, Sheila?
I'm deep in AI. I didn't really get to share sort of how I fell into mental health, but a lot of personal tragedy has made me dive in deep. And so I live and breathe AI, and I have created Gigi. I don't know if you can see it, and it's probably backwards, but I've created this film and evidence-based mental health literacy program. It's world-class mental health education. And we've been really good at sort of deploying it at scale in schools and corporations. And now I want to make sure that military families, VA, veterans have access. Gigi's free. There's a huge, robust free version. We don't collect information. And it's through conversation in every spoken language that you can ask a question and get world-class science-based responses in your language to direct people to get help, to have that resource in your pocket 24/7, because a lot of life happens in the middle of the night when someone's freaking out, or just when you're nervous because your kid isn't talking to you, or you've not found a job in 9 months, or a job you were so close to getting is suddenly crickets. And those things you feel.
We're out of time, but I want you guys to stick around. We're going to end the show, but stick around. I'd like to thank each and every last one of you for taking the time to come on the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Big Al, you my DAWD. And I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers for tuning into the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all the different platforms. Always, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. It's your life, and we'll be back. You can watch us on radio, listen to us on radio tomorrow. I send that information out, but we'll be back live Monday. It's your life. We'll see you then.
Doctor.